Getting a six-pack will completely change your life. It's like wearing an extra layer of confidence. And not only that, it has a domino effect. How you show up at work, how you show up for your friends, your family, the energy you have to play with your kids. I truly believe that every man once in his life should experience what it's like to be in the best shape he's ever been in. But what you realize when you get your abs or, you get the results you're after, it was never really about that. And this is about to sound cheesy, but it was always about the relationship you build with yourself and the confidence you get from saying you're going to do something, doing it and seeing a result, because confidence is not built by shouting affirmations in the mirror. It's built by saying you're going to do something, following through, and then seeing a reward. It's really that simple. But the same is true in reverse. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you lose trust and confidence, not only in yourself, but the process. And that's a really negative place to be. And I know, because I was there for almost 3 years, spinning my wheels, stuck in a plateau, feeling like I was throwing everything at the wall, and my body did not represent the amount of hard work I was putting in. I wasn't overweight by any means, but I wasn't happy in my own skin. I wasn't confident. And I remember looking around at the gym, at people that were training nowhere near as hard as me, thinking, what do they know that I don't know? What am I getting wrong? And that was a really negative place to be, because I started to believe I was the problem. And that was having a negative knock-on effect with the rest of my life. I was getting frustrated. I was unhappy with how I looked. I was uncomfortable, and I was snapping at the people I loved. And it was a massive contradiction, because I had originally done this to burn fat, build muscle, to become a healthier, happier, more confident version of me for my friends and my family. And it was having the exact opposite effect. And I didn't realize at the time, but the problem is I was stuck in what I call the stagnant man loop. I had no idea what actually worked. I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information. So I was just trying to throw everything at the wall, hoping something would stick. I had no game plan. It was train as hard as I could, eat clean, meal prep, cross my fingers and hope for the best. And I was setting myself up for failure because it didn't fit into my lifestyle, and it created too many friction points. And a friction point is where the goals you want to achieve clash with the life you want to live. Yes, I wanted to burn fat, build muscle, get in shape, but I didn't want to do it at the expense of not being able to have big family dinners or go away on weekends or go on holiday without feeling anxious like I have to track every calorie or I was going to fall off plan. And because I was following this all or nothing approach, the barrier of resistance was so high just to stick to it. And then when something cropped up, inevitably life didn't go my way. Life threw me an obstacle. I couldn't get my 5th workout of the week, or something cropped up with my kids, and everything unraveled. And every time this happened, I would fall off plan, wait to get motivated again, and just repeat the process. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And I didn't realize at the time, but I was stuck in that rebound cycle, and it was a miserable place to be. And like most people, I thought if I wasn't seeing results, well, I'm not doing enough. So I'd add more cardio, more restrictive in my diet, more training sessions. And I just got stuck in a loop of overtraining, undereating, and had this skinny fat body composition and this stubborn belly fat that wouldn't go away. So if you're in this position and you feel like you're spinning your wheels, you feel like you're putting in a ton of effort and your body doesn't represent the amount of hard work you're putting in, I promise you the answer is not more. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It's about reducing the barrier of resistance. It's about reducing the friction between the goals you want to achieve and the life you want to live. It's about having an approach to your nutrition and training that you can stick to even on the days you don't feel like it. When I had this aha moment, I went from training 5 times a week to training 2 to 3 times a week. I went from meal prepping, following rigid meal plans that didn't fit into my life, to having a couple of flexible nutrition tools that made sticking to my calorie deficit number as easy as possible. And when I had these things, guess what? I was able to stick to it, because the barrier of resistance was so low compared to what I was doing before. This was easy to stick to. So I was able to build momentum. I was able to build some consistency. And then I started seeing results, because consistency compounded over time is what gets results. That's when motivation and confidence appeared. It was like this light bulb moment. The whole time I thought that I need motivation to white knuckle my way through it, but it was the exact opposite. And before I knew it, it became a really positive reinforcement loop, because I had proven to myself that I am someone that can follow through. I had the confidence that I can do this. Before I knew it, I completely transformed my body, and I went from this stagnant man, this all or nothing approach, from overtraining, undereating, feeling like I was getting no results for the amount of effort I was putting in, to completely transforming my body composition, doing 80% less than I was doing before. And this confidence spilling into other aspects of my life completely changed everything. Because I had proven to myself in this area that I was able to follow through, I then started to push myself in other areas of my life, my work life, my business, my family. And that's exactly why getting a 6-pack will completely change your life.